Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Weather Live Weekly Outlook here on this Wednesday, March the 6th, 2024. By my count, spring just about 2 weeks away, so we've got some things to look forward to. Certainly, we've experienced our share of some pretty mild weather here recently. I'm happy to say we've got more coming up. All right, let's start you off with the satellite perspective, showing that we do have pretty big storm making its way across the eastern United States. Big in size, but it's really kind of lacking a little on the punch. If we take a look underneath this storm, you'll see we do have lots of rain, multiple areas of low pressure. As you can see, the main low located down here across eastern portions of Carolina going to make its way up the east coast. And these two fronts are going to bring quite a bit of wet weather to the Northeast. Because of that, the National Weather Service has issued flood watches for portions of the Northeast. That does include New York City, Boston, and Providence. So really, that's about it. There's not a lot else going on. You got a couple red flag warnings across the central U.S. right now, and a couple winter weather advisories. This is really quiet, though, I got to say, for this time of the year. So I think that should make a lot of people happy. We'll try to keep the quiet weather going. We do have the threat for some severe weather, however, coming up across the Gulf Coast. I'm going to show you that over the next couple of days. So big low pressure across the east, going to bring plenty of wet weather with that. Let's go on over to the Storm Prediction Center forecast, showing you where that threat of severe weather. Really little to no threat today. But as we work our way into day 2, you'll see there is an area across portions of the plains that we'll be watching. And again, notice temperatures are nice and mild, a little warmer than average for this time of the year. That'll make a lot of people happy as well. But tomorrow's severe risk from far southern Kansas, western Oklahoma, through the heart of Texas for tomorrow. Small chance of tornadoes, not a big risk day, not a big chase day, but we could have, again, a few nastier storms. I do think the setup for day 3, so this is going to be for Friday, looking a little better for that potential severe weather across portions of the southern tier. So this will go from eastern Texas down to the Florida Panhandle. So we'll continue to monitor that situation for you, but overall, nothing too alarming, certainly for this time of the year. You know, you could have some really, really nasty weather. So things aren't looking too bad in that regard. All right, let's get on over to some of the weather models for you. And we'll start you off with the European forecast model, as we oftentimes do. Taking a look at those jet stream winds right now, as they animate here for you, showing still a split flow. So we've got the main thrust of jet stream wind energy up here into Canada. It's got a few parts to it, but again, not a unified jet. So because we don't have that, we're not going to have any huge outbreak of cold air, at least in this forecast period. And you know we're running out of time, so that's probably good for those that are really itching for spring to get going here. But quite a bit of jet stream wind energy associated with that southern branch moving through the Gulf Coast here tomorrow and Friday. And with that, that's going to bring with it that risk of some severe, as already showed you in the outlook. We move beyond this time frame, and really the jet stream map looking more like a giant bowl of spaghetti than anything else. So that actually speaks to the fact that we're not expecting any huge organized storms at this range. Overall, with the quieter pattern, the quieter jet stream winds, it'll lend itself to some warmth as well. With the cold really being limited to the northern tier and into Canada right now. As far as sensible weather is concerned, you can see we do have a storm system making its way, the one out of the southwest. So this is here Thursday with the chance of storms across the heartland and then across the rest of the eastern U.S. here Friday and Saturday. Lots of wet weather. That chance of severe weather, again, going to be limited with down here along the Gulf Coast. So we'll watch this area next couple of days for that. Otherwise, looking ahead, got more quiet weather in store. So I don't want to glaze over the fact that parts of the Northeast will see good snow. That's this weekend. But this is going to be interior Northeast in the upper elevations, Adirondacks, the Green, the White Mountains, in the northern Appalachia. Well, they're used to it though. Mount Washington, I'm sure, is going to get a lot of snow out of this deal. And that's going to bring with it a shot of cold for the weekend across the Ohio River Valley, the Great Lakes, and parts of the Northeast. So that cold air begins to move in late day Friday across the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes. By Sunday, it will be a very chilly day. And then that cold begins to retreat there beyond that. And then we're looking at lots of warmth into the middle portions of next week. How warm, you may ask? I'm glad you asked. How about 70 degrees? This is Wednesday's forecasted high across the Ohio River Valley. We will expand our view a little bit here and see what the rest of the area is looking at as far as those temperatures this week. Looking pretty good. Again, nice and warm. Really Tuesday, Wednesday. Nice and warm of next week, and then we'll see those temperatures trimming back. And in fact, there's a lot of evidence for some chillier weather once we get our way into about a week and a half from now, and then beyond. So with that being said, let's take a look at the Euros ensemble. These are temperature anomalies showing the above normal temperatures that are out there now. Just a short little cold spell over the course of the weekend for the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes into the Northeast. And then the warmer than average conditions resume until it's about 10 days out. And then somewhere around that week and a half to 2 week mark, we're looking at significant cold perhaps redeveloping across the southern U.S. So that's a little ways away, and that's according to the latest run of the European forecast model. That forecast, by the way, not necessarily represented by the current Climate Prediction Center forecast, which is still showing above average in the 8 to 14. I really think we're going to be trending colder than that, but we'll watch it here in time. But that's about it. Otherwise, things are pretty quiet. I hope you have a chance to enjoy the quiet conditions, the relatively warm conditions that we have coming up over the next several days ahead. Because this time of the year, you can get absolutely anything, including some very cold conditions. You can get rain, snow, and of course the threat of severe weather. We'll be monitoring that. In the meantime, you guys enjoy your midweek, and you guys stay dry out there. Stay blessed, my friends, and we'll talk to you again soon.